Hey guys, Desolator Magic here, and Mark Rosewater and a couple other members of the Wizard staff are getting absolutely blown up on Twitter again. I'd ask you to guess what they did this time, but it's probably in the title of this video. So Mark tweeted, "There's been a lot of talk about Jumpstart recently. Let me stop you right there, Mark. In case you're wondering what that talk is, it's the fact that it's $170 to $180 a box on the secondary market. And let's just say I've heard it's not a whole lot lower at a lot of local stores. You know, when there's money to be made, good for them." I mean, people would whine that, From the Vault was being sold for $80 locally instead of, 35 MSRP. Well, guess what? Some were like 120 online, so you're still getting a deal. Shut up. Like, as soon as something valuable comes to the store, they're going to make sure they make money on it. Boo-hoo. Now, that said, this is clearly price gouging, but he wanted to come out and say, let me just read the rest of his statement here. "So I thought I would stress a few things. Jumpstart is not a limited product, meaning we will keep reprinting it as long as there is demand for it." So in other words, they're going to devalue it down to about $110 a box like they do with everything else. And then he said within the time frame of the product's lifespan, so there is some limit to it. And then part 2 of the tweet, he says, "Due to COVID-related issues, there is less product than we wanted or anticipated in the first wave." Now, we did know that. They already posted that. "For all of you out there that are eager to get your hands on Jumpstart, I promise there is more coming." If read between the lines on that tweet, take apparently me and Mark's advice, don't buy it for $180 a box on eBay. That's not smart. So it's not a limited product. I mean, that's news to me. Good to know. Anybody investing in it or hoarding it right now, first of all, you're an idiot. They said that there's shortages and that there's going to be a second wave. They already said that. But now on top of that, we know that they're going to print it to death. So FYI, if you have any boxes right now, liquidate them immediately. But yeah, the first reply here is it's sort of like not having MSRP has allowed certain businesses to take advantage of a limited supply in the market. And then the pondering emoji. Yeah, getting rid of MSRPs did not help. It helped local stores, so like hooray, but it also helped scalping douchebags. So I don't feel that bad with this one, no matter who does what or for why and who buys what for what price, because nobody needs this product. You don't really need it to play anything. I guess there's 44 new cards, but there's also like 600 cards in it. So the best way to get those cards is not to buy boxes of this. So what most people are really whining about, if they were to be honest, is I wanted to open it and make a bunch of money by paying $100 and pulling $200 worth of cards, but now everybody's selling it for a fair market price, aka scalping. And that's not fair because I'm a greedy asshole. I want to get paid hundreds of dollars to do minimal work. Well, shut up. Now, if you said, I just wanted to play some Jumpstart because it's fun for casual people and my friends are into it, and Standard is an absolute garbage pile right now that nobody wants to play, so, that I kind of get. I can sympathize with you a little bit, but honestly, the way Wizards has been operating, just, play any other physical or digital game at all. By the way, shout out to everybody who showed up to my Hitman Absolution stream earlier today, all 50 of you. That kind of is a lot, but Magic only pulls like 250 these days. Used to do double that. I put every single level to a vote, and every single one, everybody wanted me to just run and gun every level with 0 stealth. It was kind of a chaotic shit show, and it was kind of freaking hilarious, so, watch for that next time. I will say I had more fun playing that game from 2012 single-player game than I did playing Magic. So anyway, the next tweet reply here really set off an avalanche. Are you ready for this one? Wujo444 tweeted, "One thing eludes me. Why this doesn't go through official Wizards of the Coast channels and or Wizards community managers that are hired to talk with the public? Why nothing is being done to improve communication that has been constantly bad?" I thought I was going to say consistently, but both are true. Yes, why do I have to look for some announcements on Twitter, some announcements from this specific staff member, some from a Wizards esports account? Some of the news is on the WPN website. That kind of makes sense. I'll give them that one. But yeah, the scattered information is ridiculous. Even I miss things, and I purposely go out to look for them, to make videos on them. It's ridiculous. So Blake Rasmussen, which I'd say what he does at Wizards, but I literally do not know. He writes really shitty articles, if I remember correctly. Well, his bio says he's the main editor of Daily MTG. So the place where all of this should be. I want to look in one place for all information, and I would maybe make it Daily MTG and then just mirror it and basically do a notification system, a blast, on all social media platforms every time you post there. Really simple, Blake. It's literally your job. So get this. This is the most needlessly angry reply from Blake that I've seen lately. Honestly, since he's almost the community manager, I'd fire him over this. He's clearly incapable of doing his job, but Wizards doesn't fire anybody. So he replied, because we already did many times. Here's just one example. And he links to the article where they just say Jumpstart's being delayed, some will go out. You know, that little 2-paragraph thing. They says, but when someone like Mark gets the question multiple times, we reinforce it through the channels where we see the question most. We also retweeted Mark. We don't suck. I'm tired of hearing that. If one person calls you a horse, you wonder why. If 2 people call you a horse, you're like, oh, that's weird, but what's their problem? When 3 people call you a horse, you might as well buy a saddle because clearly you're a horse. Otherwise, why else would they be saying it? If people constantly say that you're bad at your job and that they're missing information on Daily MTG, maybe you, who's in charge of it, should do something about it instead of making half excuses. So he links to an article that did not say, this is not a limited product, we're going to print it to death and devalue it, don't buy it, don't hold it, don't invest in it. All it said was shortages, some of it will be delayed. Like, that's it. So yes, the unimportant half of what Mark said was on Daily MTG, but the part anybody gives a shit about was not. So what do you think? Did the angry mob of entitled SJW and far left nutjobs on Twitter let this one go? Take a guess. Reply number 1 from based as hell Andrea Weidel. I shouldn't have to look on Twitter a week before the product comes out to find out whether a set is limited or not. This is information I should have by the time pre-orders for my store are due. Oh, she's a store owner. Oh, that's even worse. Then she follows it up with, and it shouldn't fall on you to give us this information. Then some white knighting dumbass, which I guess then I won't name him, says June 18th was when the post was made on their website. He used the wrong there too, by the way. Rosewater is just reiterating it for the people who most likely didn't check the site 3 weeks ago. Andrea ain't having that shit though. June 18th was like 2 weeks after we had to place our pre-orders as a store. Stores need to have this information earlier. You're damn right. When I had a store that sold Magic products, we had to put in our pre-order numbers and finalize them before we saw one single spoiler or usually the box art for a product. So let's just say that ain't news, but usually we do know by then if it's a limited print run or not. Someone else just decided to throw this in here. Can you address the cost of double masters and why it's priced so high? Probably because you get 2 rares and foils per booster. If pricing isn't based on the secondary market, what's the reason that a booster box is triple the price of a standard booster box? Let's say even compared to other Masters boxes. If anything, it should be double the price of other Masters boxes because it's a Masters set, the cards are more valuable, and you get 2 rares and foils per box. But still, I do like roasting them on it. Like, oh, well, if we're going to do the reprints that you guys have been asking for 2 to 3 years, well, we're going to get maximum money out of it because we're greedy assholes. Like, Masters could very well be $150 a box if they wanted it to be, but that would crash the prices even more harshly and cost people holding the cards more money, like, more quickly, I guess. I don't know. The price is going to get there eventually, so... We've got another reply from Clone011 with an anonymous mask, Guy Fawkes as his profile image. Just in all caps, it just says, secondary market, period, insider trading, period. Based. Where all these logical cut the bullshit people coming from on Twitter? That ain't logical cut the bullshitville. I'm going to create an anti-Twitter, and since I probably can't get away with naming it that, I'm going to call it Baster, because it'll be like based Twitter. And to sign up, you need to answer certain really common sense questions like, is the earth flat? Should self-defense with a weapon be a universal human right? Stuff like that dumbasses get wrong constantly. So, I guess it's possible, and based on the evidence lately, very likely, that somebody at Wizards is either directly benefiting from the high price or tipping off some of their, buddies who sell large volumes of cards, saying, hey, the first one's short, you could probably scalp the shit out of this. Don't sell it to your customers, sell it online. Just lie and tell them you're out. Information like that and worse, and even more advantageous information about format choices and bans ahead of time have leaked out clear as day. You can look at card prices, sales volumes, all that. People buying up hundreds of copies of something right before it gets unbanned out of nowhere. $100 jump in the cost of dual lands right before they announced that Legacy is going to be one of the 3 formats that were competitive in, 2018, 2019? Basically, that format was going to be one of the 3 at the Pro Tours. We got a couple more people just asking what the hell ever happened with mystery boosters. Somebody else was throwing Card Kingdom under the bus, saying that their price is complete and utter scalped bullshit. What a coincidence. They've got a lot of connections at Wizards, and they are also from Seattle. I looked right now, they're sold out, but it did say $125 a box, which is probably not terrifically unreasonable. So I assume it was higher before, but I can't confirm. Somebody else corrected all of this horseshit by saying, hey, just FYI, distributors are telling us shops, the shop owners, the people buying in the WPN program and outside of it, that they're unsure if there is another print run, and they're cutting our pre-order numbers while implying that the allocation numbers came to them from Wizards of the Coast directly. Maybe it's a sales rep having a bad day, but you may want your channel reps doing outreach. Or they're all lying and this is one giant scam, and once again, the product is in the hands of the people that can make the most money and also kiss the most Wizards' ass. What a coincidence! Let's see who, the hottest eBay listing is from right now. The most sales, most aggressive price, most in stock. Yep, another giant super seller that has ties to Wizards, if I remember. Shocker. And by the way, it's probably not the douchebag you think. They, shut down their whole business for some reason. Hopefully they got arrested. Or Wizards got off their ass and did something after they ruined 3 entire sets values single-handedly. So anyway, back to the Twitter replies. We got Tom Dermody saying, resign from Wizards of the Coast. You suck at your job. At Maro254. And actually, if I hit the button to unhide the hidden replies, there's another one that says, you guys really effing suck. I'm surprised there's only 2. At this point, with how angry people are getting on, heavily moderated subreddits and Twitter and, places that usually are very friendly to Wizards, I'm surprised that 50% of all replies to everything he ever tweets aren't, F you, quit. I mean, you look at one of his other recent tweets where he tweeted out the article that says, the future of Magic. Just immediately, can we get an article from Wizards of the Coast staff on how they'll be using the mistake that was the last 2 years of design to inform their decisions going forward? 21 likes. And then people just tweeting GIFs pointing up saying this. I mean, the next reply, I assume this means you're bringing back banding. People are just roasting him over his stupid bullshit. They're so sick of Mark Rosewater ruining the game. I could go on. Okay, there's one more. I hope you learned from companions. I'm not even going to read the rest of the tweet. I lied. Another tweet is, please stop with the punch-out cards. I can't stop scrolling, but anyway, this is getting really far off of the original point here. The takeaways are people are kind of mad about Jumpstart. The people who really wanted it for various reasons are kind of mad that they got to pay this bullshit price. So, he came out and was like, no, just wait. The price will go down because we're doing a second wave. Not going to tell you when. We're going to give vague statements about how it's unlimited, but it's within a time frame, which could mean literally anything. The distributors don't know anything about anything he just said. So whether it's actually true or he wishes it was true, who knows? He doesn't even work in the production department, so why would he even know? Legit, Mark isn't even a reliable source on this saying, don't worry, more are coming, when, everybody else involved says, well, that's not what I heard. And then Blake's like, what do you mean you want this information all in one place so that it's easy to understand, and before you order, and you want actual information about the thing you're buying in thousands of dollars of quantity? And that just hits him with the big old Twitter BTFO. Oh, the animosity is real, and they absolutely deserve it. They have been mismanaging this game so poorly, making such stupid product design decisions, creating bullshit like the Secret Lair product at all, just even that existing is an affront to Magic in the community. And, well, the stores. And this entire situation with Jumpstart, and honestly the mystery boosters too, have a bit of a smell of corruption to it, because look who still has some, look who's scalping it, look who knew what to set what at what price ahead of time. It's looking pretty shady, as usual. I mean, I can't even name the last product that came out that didn't look shady. Way back when I ordered $10,000 worth of BFZ, I purposely included 64 fat packs because I had heard very early on confirmation that the entire packs will be full art. So those were 80 full art lands inside of a fat pack, which I paid 21 bucks for cost? That was $20 worth of lands right there at the time. And my distributor, even though I was the first person, I called the day that information came out, I was the first person to place my order for that much, and they confirmed it. They called me a week out and said, we can only get you 0. In a completely unrelated, I'm so sure story, remember when Alpha Investments? Rudy, you might have heard of him. Remember when he said in a video, yeah, my distributor went to me and said, well, we can only send you, this many boxes, 500, whatever, a couple hundred, whatever it was. But we could send you more if you're willing to pay an extra $6 to $8 a box or whatever. And he was like, sure. I'm sure those two stories have nothing to do with each other. I'm sure there aren't just, playing favorites and giant volume sellers and the people who just stuff online. and they don't even run a real store or contribute to the community in any way. I'm sure they're not bribing them and you know, threatening them and saying, you better send me these because here's, you know, hot money, otherwise they'll take my business elsewhere. I'm sure that's not what's going on constantly in the distribution system. It's not like I have dozens of stories and actual proven accounts of that happening. So yeah, if you think that it's like a conspiracy theory about this whole who's scalping what and who ended up with Jumpstart at what time and all that, nah, not necessarily. There's some precedent for this. It gets a lot dirtier than you think when it comes to hot products and big money and big margins. In order to get 14 grand worth of Ultimate Masters, I basically had to not quite represent the truth 100% pristinely to one distributor and then just straight up threaten another one. But I was so sick of losing out to the big guys, I'm like, fine, I'll play their game too. Like, my old LGS from hell pretends to be more stores than they actually have. Some distributors think they have multiple locations and some don't, and then they get like duplicates and stuff, and then like actual satellite locations like have their own distributor counts and shit. So they get duplicates of stuff, and they've been abusing that and, you know, double, you know, getting promos and stuff for a long time. They actually got their WPN status pulled temporarily for doing shit like that. So yeah, it's just one giant shitstorm when people get greedy and people want to make money. So if you think this Jumpstart thing is 100% clean and all coincidence, you are more likely wrong than right. I'm not saying it's a sure thing, I'm just saying it smells bad. But so does that burrito I just realized I accidentally left in the microwave. So once again, wish I had better news about something, but this is Wizards. Their whole product distribution planning and all their staff are all just garbage, just 100% crooked garbage. Not to mention massive assholes. Wish it wasn't true, wish they'd fix the game, wish the game was enjoyable, wish they'd, you know, wish I had anything positive to report about them ever, but I don't, and it's their fault. So if you're a sensitive snowflake little bitch that can't handle negative news and aka reality and bad things in life, then f*** off somewhere else that ain't my channel. You may have noticed if you've been watching this channel since, I'll say, more than 3 years ago, whenever Wizards does something right, I report on that too. People are like, why is every video so negative? F***ing ask Wizards! Hey Wizards, why do you keep everything up? Why does everybody hate you? Don't ask me. I'm just the guy reporting on it, and also I personally hate them. So anyway, thanks for watching. Nothing will get in the way of me enjoying the game the way I want to play it, and I'll see you guys next video.